That's why I've been so skeptical.
Fall, spring, yes.
Yeah.
This is definitely a fake out.
It is, but we still have a few more days.
Bring it on.
And we were warm enough today that we actually set a new record warm temperature for this date. So the record high previously to today, of course, was 58 degrees. That was set back in 1921. And today, a lot of us are enjoying 60s. We are now at 65 degrees at O'Hare. Those are high temperatures so far today. Made it to 70 in LaSalle, 66 in Gary, 62 in Valparaiso, made it to 64 in Waukegan, and 67 degrees in Aurora. So very warm conditions out there today. And over the next few hours, here's where we're headed. Temperatures are going to drop out of the 60s into the 50s. I think a lot of us by 9 going to be in the upper 40s to low 50s. And then we'll find our low temperatures tonight dropping into the upper 30s to low 40s, which is way above average. Your average low is 22. So we're staying warm tomorrow. We're back up into the 60s again by Wednesday. Those details coming up.
All right, thanks, Emily. Community members in Oak Park spent this President's Day giving back to a local nonprofit that provides medical and dental care to children in need.
Yeah, families came together, packed up goodie bags, wrote encouraging cards for kids too. Casey Cronus is in Oak Park to tell us how it all came together. Casey.
Hey, Terrence and Sylvia. For more than a century, this clinic has been a lifeline to area families. And today, on its third annual day of service, area residents got a glimpse into that important work. The Oak Park River Forest Infant Welfare Society was founded 110 years ago. And today, it continues to provide crucial care to underserved families. With many parents off work and kids home from school for the holiday, area residents spent the day giving back at the Children's Clinic. Roughly 150 volunteers packed art kits, oral hygiene kits, book bags, and wrote heartfelt messages to young patients. The goodie bags will be distributed at the clinic and during mobile visits at local schools.
Our mission is simple. It's to advance the health and well-being of children in need. It's fun to bring in community members and have them learn more about the work that we do, as well as feel like they're making a difference.
You can imagine a lot of the folks that come in here are working 2 or 3 jobs. Every encounter they have with us says, "You are value, we care about you, and we're here for your best interest."
The nonprofit makes care available to all families, regardless of their ability to pay or insurance status. Reporting live in Oak Park, Casey Cronus, Fox Chicago.
Thank you, Casey. A bill that could help the Bears build a new stadium in Arlington Heights is reemerging in Springfield. On Thursday, the House Revenue and Finance Committee will begin hearing on this long-stalled bill that would give the Bears the long-term property tax certainty that they're looking for. This is a key component for the Bears stadium plans in Arlington Heights. And an important date to remember in Indiana is February 27th. That is when the Indiana legislature will wrap up its current session, and both the state House and Senate leaders want to have an agreement with the Bears in place before heading home.
The gridlock in D.C. is messing with the federal government again.
Today is day 3 of a partial government shutdown, which is expected to continue for at least another week as Congress is in recess until the 23rd.
Now, this makes 3 shutdowns in less than 6 months. Democrats and Republicans are both pointing fingers over who failed to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Democrats say the White House's offer is not enough when it comes to oversight of ICE. The White House says the Democrats are not being reasonable, should be willing to make more concessions.
The only way to ensure that ICE is actually reined in and brought under control, consistent with what the American people would like to see, is to change things dramatically, boldly, meaningfully through legislation, and that's what this showdown is all about.
We have to protect law enforcement, our police, our Border Patrol, ICE, and others in law enforcement. And I'm very much, look, I know what they want, I know what they can live with.
Immigration operations are still running because ICE got significant funding from the spending bill passed last year. Other DHS agencies, including TSA, FEMA, the Coast Guard, they're facing disruptions. About 64,000 TSA agents, by the way, could be required to work without pay.
We are just 1 month out from the Illinois primary election, and with 5 open congressional seats, voter turnout is expected to be higher than usual.
Yeah, to keep you informed, political reporter Paris Schutz is hosting a week of candidate debates. Paris, who is kicking off the series?
We got the big one tonight, the Democratic primary for U.S. Senate. Tonight, live at 6 p.m., we have the top 3 candidates in this race all squaring off together at the very desk that you're sitting right at now, Terrence and Sylvia. So that, of course, is Congresswoman Robin Kelly, Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy, and Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton. The 3 have been duking it out over the last several months. They've been arguing over who's funding whose campaigns, who's funding their PACs. And they all agree, basically, on their opposition to President Trump. They've all, in some way or another, called for either abolishing or major reforms to ICE, and to impeach DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. So we want to drill down on where they differ. Where are their points of disagreement? What are their distinctive platforms, not just on immigration, but on the economy, on jobs, on taxes, on consumer prices? Think about those skyrocketing utility bills that you're getting. Think about all this debate over data centers and the resources that they're sucking up, and AI, and all these things that sort of affect Illinoisans and folks across the country. We're going to have an hour-long discussion with the 3 of them. No holds barred. This is not a formal debate with rules like opening statements and closing statements. This is 3 people at the desk mixing it up and having a deep discussion on what they're going to do and why they believe viewers should vote for them. So that is tonight at 6 o'clock, right after the 5 o'clock news. We're really looking forward to this. We're pleased to have the 3 top candidates, and we have a whole week of debates here in this primary. Tomorrow will be the Cook County Board President, Tony Preckwinkle, the incumbent seeking a 5th term, and Brendan Riley, the challenger, the 42nd Ward Alderman, longtime City Council member, giving her a challenge. And then we have the candidates for Cook County Assessor, Fritz Kagi versus Pat Hines. Now think about the assessor and your property tax bills. So many people are up in arms over the assessments they get and the property tax bills they have to pay. So we're going to dig in with those candidates and what they're going to do about the property tax system. But again, tonight we start with that big race for Senate. Dick Durbin, of course, announcing his retirement, a rare open seat for the upper chamber here in Illinois, and these 3 candidates fighting very hard to get that seat. Stay tuned tonight, 6 o'clock. We'll replay it at 10, and we'll have full coverage on our website. Terrence?
Paris, I have to ask you, Durbin's had that seat since '97, obviously very well liked here in Illinois. Is he endorsing anybody at this point?
He has not endorsed a successor to this point, as I understand. The person that has is Governor Pritzker, who has endorsed Juliana Stratton. So Durbin likely will endorse the Democratic candidate, whoever emerges out of this. It's, usually the big figures in the party don't like to endorse during the primary. They want to wait and see, who emerges as the leader. But Pritzker has, because Pritzker has heavily backed Juliana Stratton's campaign. But we've got, 3 very experienced candidates, the 2 congresspeople, the lieutenant governor, and so this is going to be a very interesting exchange of ideas.
All right, we'll be watching, Paris. Thank you. Well, people all over the country right now are looking for Dan Davis, a dad from Blue Island who hasn't been seen since November.
His family has been desperately searching for him since, and Leslie Moreno is joining us live. Leslie, you just spoke to his daughter. What did she have to say?
Hey guys, good evening. Yeah, Dan David's daughter says they haven't lost hope. They've been searching high and low for the past 3 months here in the area. The family says they're hoping to find some clues this weekend as they expand their search efforts. 59-year-old Dan Davis was last seen along Bourbon Street in Blue Island on November 26th. Since we last spoke with his daughter, multiple city and state agencies have assisted with search efforts. They've been combing wooded areas, train yards, bodies of water, junkyards, and other hard-to-reach places using drones, K-9 teams, ATVs, officers, and volunteers on foot as well. Now his daughter is organizing a nationwide Find Dan Day this weekend where people from anywhere in the country can help search either online by sharing his flyer or on foot. His daughter says they still have not found Dan's keys, his wallet, and his phone. They're hoping this weekend. If you are interested in assisting with those search efforts, we'll have all those details on foxchicago.com. For now, reporting live here in Logan Square, Les Marino, Fox Chicago.
Thank you, Leslie. The search for Nancy Guthrie reached its 16th day. Investigators are now focused on a glove found just 2 miles from her Tucson home. Asher Red has the latest.
More than 2 weeks after Nancy Guthrie went missing, a glove found near her home has been tested for DNA. The glove is one of 16 found in the area, most belonging to searchers. But investigators say this one contains DNA from an unknown male and appears to match the glove seen in surveillance video from Nancy's front porch.
Most crime scene gloves are going to hit you right here. That's not the case here. So I think we're on to something.
The DNA profile will go to a national database known as CODIS to see if there is a match among more than 19 million offenders. If not, experts say it could be put through a genealogy database to identify possible relatives of the individual.
You're going to do your best to at least eliminate some innocent reason why that DNA is there. Without that, at least it could give you potential leads to moving forward.
Meanwhile, TMZ says it's received a 4th email from the person claiming to know who kidnapped Nancy Guthrie. They're once again demanding $50,000 in Bitcoin up front, writing, quote, "I know what I saw 5 days ago south of the border, and I was told to shut up, so I know who he is, and that was definitely Nancy with them," end quote. Though Fox cannot independently confirm that reporting.
If you're worried about getting this money, and you really do have this information, send it to us. We will forward it to the FBI, and that way there's a record that we have that you supplied this information.
Meanwhile, the Pima County Sheriff says the clothing worn by the suspect in the surveillance video appears to be from Walmart, but it's not only available there. In Tucson, Arizona, Asher Red, Fox News.
IDOT is pushing back on a social media post that's been spreading online. You've probably seen it. Someone on X posted these photos they claim showed the I-290 flyover at Austin Boulevard. Now, the post went up Sunday. More than 1 million people have seen it. IDOT says that's not what's going on. Their response here, we checked. No bridge like this exists near Austin Boulevard or I-290. The same photo has popped up in other cities, too. So it looks like another social media hoax with AI-generated or mislabeled photos and videos that might mislead people, and clearly did.
Wow. Still to come, a major shift in high school sports. What Illinois athletes need to know.
Norovirus numbers are up across the region. What new patterns health departments are tracking to explain the spike.
And utility bills just keep going up while customers call it sticker shock. A consumer advocacy group says this affordability crisis has been building for years.
To celebrate the Lunar New Year, the Film Museum is unpacking the Year of the Horse. Fossils and footprints. Come on back. Prosecutors in Austria charged a 21-year-old with terrorism. The suspect is accused of planning an attack during a Taylor Swift concert in Vienna last year. Authorities say the person declared loyalty to ISIS, looked up bomb-making instructions online, and tried to get weapons illegally. U.S. intelligence helped Austrian officials stop the plot. 3 shows were canceled after that. Robert Duvall has passed away. His wife shared the news on Facebook. She said he wasn't just an incredible actor, but a loving husband and a friend to so many. A lot of you know him from The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, or even 4 Christmases. He worked for 7 decades, won an Oscar for Tender Mercies back in 1983. He was 95.
Tuesday marks the Lunar New Year, and for the first time in 60 years, the Chinese zodiac honors the fire horse, representing rapid change and transformation. The Field Museum is marking the event with an exhibit that captures 50 million years of the horse, including its ancient ancestors, some the size of small dogs. And unlike other species that roamed the earth before we did, the horses of today are easier to map through evolution.
The fossil record is notoriously incomplete. Sometimes we only have one tooth to describe an entire species. But for horses, they evolved in North America. We find them out in the Badlands, the western part of the United States, and even in the Midwest, like Nebraska.
You can trace the history of the horse by visiting the After the Age of Dinosaurs exhibition at the Field Museum. Tickets are available online and in person at the museum.
I used to love looking up what all of the Chinese zodiac signs meant
what they mean. Yes.
Run as a kid. I still
agree.
remember
The
I am a fire tiger.
You are.
Wow.
I just know I'm a rat.
Oh.
I don't know what I am.
I don't know what
You don't know
element,
what
though?
you are? No.
We'll look it up. We'll look yours up after the show, Emily.
Okay, sounds good.
And we can look up the baby, too, maybe.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking. All right, temperatures out there today, stunning. We ended up making it into the 60s today. And previously, the record warm temperature for the state was 58 degrees, set back in 1921. We beat that by a long shot today. In fact, we're still sitting at 65 degrees at O'Hare. Same thing at the Chicago lakefront, 67 in Aurora. Same thing in Joliet and Morris. LaSalle is now at 66 degrees. Previously was at 70, and it's now 63 in Valparaiso. Futurecast temps taking us throughout the next few hours here. Notice by 9 p.m. or so, a lot of us are going to be in the upper 40s to low 50s. Mostly clear to partly cloudy conditions expected tonight. We will have areas of patchy fog developing again, so kind of that hazier start to the day tomorrow going to be possible, very similar to what we experienced today. And then through the day tomorrow, we start to see increasing cloud cover. Temperatures are going to be able to warm up into the 50s. I think a lot of us are in the low to mid 50s tomorrow afternoon. Then we start to see some rain spreading across the area into the evening. That's going to continue into Thursday night. But then going into Friday, or I should say Wednesday, by Wednesday morning, we're going to start to dry things back out again. I'm getting ahead of myself here through the work week already. For tonight, 39 degrees for your overnight low. We are going to be mostly clear to partly cloudy, and then we'll have some patchy fog developing as well. Your 5-day forecast tomorrow, 54, 64 expected on Wednesday. Thursday, we have another storm system that's going to be coming through, especially during the evening, the overnight. A lot of that's going to move out of the region early Friday. Temperatures on Friday will drop into the 30s. And then over the weekend, it is going to get much cooler with a high near 40 on Saturday. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Emily. The rarest spectacle of winter is now open.
Yeah, you can check out the Apostle Islands ice caves, but you know how it works. They might not stay open that long.
Oh, look at that. Would you do that?
I'm Joni Lem on the South Side. We're meeting an artist whose handiwork has put him on the international stage, including the Obama Presidential Center. He'll talk about how quilting brings communities together one stitch at a time. That's coming up.
got junk.
An artist featured at the Obama Presidential Library is explaining what inspired his South Side art.
Joni is live at Augustana Lutheran Church. Joining us now, Joni, I understand this is bringing the community together. Tell us about this.
Oh, it's exciting. All these people are going to come and hear this artist talk about quilting. Now, you may picture quilting or quilting circles or grandmas putting together. There's that community effect. This is nothing like that, and then it's everything that a quilt makes, because quilts keep us warm. They mark milestones like the birth of a baby or a wedding, but these quilts are really something else, and you can see the detail here. These quilts are recording historical events. Each stitch has a knot in them, so you can imagine just how much work goes into it. He started by threading his grandmother's needles as a boy, and now Sunshine Joe Mallard travels the country with his works of art. He's here at the Augustana Lutheran Church. He's going to be talking tonight about what inspires him, how to make that into what you see here. Just amazing. He's here in Chicago, and his work already has been accepted by the Obama Presidential Center to be on display.
A dream come true. When I created the quilt, I wanted to get it there, but I didn't know how I would get it there. And a woman in Louisville wrote a book about quilts, not how to quilt, but 200 years of the tradition of quilting, and she included my quilts. So she had a book signing at one of the museums, and she invited me to come, and I had the quilt. So when I showed this quilt, everybody was saying, well, are you going to get it to him? How? And I said, I don't know.
Well, 6 months later, they got an agreement, and his work has been accepted. The one that he made for the Presidential Center took years, and it chronicles the first 4 years of the president's administration. So this is being presented by Lakeside Quilting Guild and the Needles and Threads Quilters Guild, an evening with Sunshine Joe Mallard. Sunshine Joe bringing the sunshine to Chicago in February. I'm Joni Lum on the South Side, Fox Chicago.
Joni, thank you. Well, Congress is interested in expanding AI training for federal workers.
Social media influencer, the IRS still wants your taxes on time. The new platform created just for content creators.
If you want total health care from a provider you trust,
hi, Blair. Hi.
Right in the palm of your hand, if you want soup, sweatpants, and zero in-person contact, if you want wellness wherever, our virtual primary care delivers with great website manner.
No worries.
So choose your doctor from our profiles and enjoy the healthiest online relationship you've ever had. House calls have evolved. Advocate Healthcare.
Primary debate.
Right now, a crisis of affordability. A consumer advocate group says your high electric bill is no mistake.
Facing gentrification and rising rents, a new development is aimed at keeping Chicago's rich culture alive.
And that tummy ache, well, it could be something a bit more serious. How you can spot a case of norovirus and stop the spread.
All right, well, let's take a breather. Look outside as the sun is going down. She's clocking out, as I like to say, for the day.
We're checking in later and later.
Yeah, and warmer we shall get.
Yes.
I sound like Yoda.
Long? Yeah, you do.
Yoda. 60s soon will come when?
We had those today.
Oh.
But only today.
Come on, get with it, Terrence.
I thought it was supposed to be like Wednesday.
You have been inside all day, so I'll give you that. But
True.
yes, we were in the 60s today.
What?
It was stunning. 65 degrees at O'Hare. We're now at 65 at the lakefront. 67 in Aurora. Same thing in Joliet. It's also 67 in LaSalle, 63 in Chicago Heights and Valparaiso. It's now 66 degrees currently in Gary. For tonight, we're dropping down to the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. We'll have southeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Patchy fog is once again going to be a possibility going into early tomorrow morning, so we could be dealing with that for your Tuesday morning commute. Temperatures by 10, we're going to be in the mid to upper 40s, and then eventually during the afternoon tomorrow, you can plan on highs in the low to mid 50s. So not quite as warm as what we had today, but still very nice and very much above average. And we will go back up to the 60s again going into your Wednesday. 64 on Wednesday, then we are in the 50s for Thursday. Back to you.
All right, let's talk about those high NIPSCO bills. We've got an update. A consumer advocacy group is calling it an affordability crisis that's been building for 15 years.
Yeah, Brett is here live in the studio. And Brett, we understand this group is blaming two groups of people for this.
And certainly this issue is not going away anytime soon here. And I spoke with the Citizens Action Coalition, told me what you're paying right now for utilities is a direct result of not only the policies from Indiana state lawmakers, but the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission not doing enough to protect you. So they pointed to 3 specific bills that became law over the past 15 years, and all of them essentially made it legal for companies like NIPSCO to get reimbursed for billions of dollars for their infrastructure projects. And they got that money from you, the consumer. So Kerwin Olson is the executive director from the Citizens Action Coalition. And also Olson said it was state lawmakers who passed bills that were designed for economic development and creating jobs. And he's been watching what's been happening this session. And he told me that state lawmakers have been hearing from you that you want financial relief right now. And he also said lawmakers are starting to have buyer's remorse and are understanding their actions then had unintended consequences now.
I've gotten calls from legislators that haven't voted the way we wanted them to vote over the years, like, Kerwin, what can we do? I can't go to the coffee house or the grocery store without somebody yelling at me about their NIPSCO bill. So I think 1002, while 1002 doesn't do everything folks want it to do, 1002 is sort of that acknowledgement that the way we've been doing things isn't working anymore.
So Olson was talking about House Bill 1002, which is supposed to give you more certainty about your utility bills and put companies on a rate plan. Now, some Democrats wanted to amend the bill by eliminating sales tax from those bills to give you some immediate financial relief. And I just found out minutes ago that it once again got voted down in the Senate. So certainly this is something that we're going to continue to watch right here on Fox Chicago. Sylvia.
Brett. Well, the markets are closed for the President's Day holiday, but tax season is in full swing. And for the first time, H&R Block has added creator to the list of occupations that people can select to populate their tax forms. The change due to the growing number of influencers who need to file taxes. And on the Hill, House lawmakers working on a bipartisan piece of legislation to create a federal tax credit to help companies train employees on artificial intelligence. This is all to boost U.S. competitiveness without sidelining workers. The proposal comes as Congress increasingly focuses on job displacement and upskilling amid rapid AI adoption.
Peanut butter recall just got bigger this afternoon. It's now hitting 40 states, including Illinois. Ventura Foods first issued the recall last year and just added more products. Some packets might have pieces of blue plastic inside, so they upped this to level 2. The FDA says nobody's gotten sick or hurt. Most of the recalled stuff is single-serve peanut butter and jelly packets. We've got a lot more information on our website, fox32chicago.com.
40 families are moving into brand new affordable apartments thanks to the Hispanic Housing Development Corporation. This new project opened last week right across the street from Humboldt Park. It's one of, their project that is made up of 10 one-bedroom apartments, 25 two-bedroom apartments, and 5 three-bedroom apartments. It also has on-site amenities like a community room and laundry facility. Alderman Jesse Fuentes joined us on Good Day Chicago to talk about the need for more affordable housing and how this project just touches the surface.
They remain on a waiting list. My office holds a waiting list of about 700 individuals and families that are waiting for affordable housing. It's why I am a firm advocate for affordable housing. Now, in the 26th ward, we have about 300 more units in queue, but we still got to finance them and close the deals. But I'm committed to making sure we can house these families.
HHDC has developed more than 4,600 affordable units over the past 50 years in both Humboldt Park and Westtown.
The DuSable Black History Museum just hit 65 years. It's the first independent spot anywhere that's all about African-American history, art, and culture. They kicked things off back in 1961 thanks to Dr. Margaret Burroughs. It used to be called the Ebony Museum of Negro History and Art. Now it's where you go for exhibits, events, and all kinds of programs. They even cut cake to celebrate today.
This institution started off as the Ebony Museum of Negro History, and it started off in her house. The thing that you start in your house can grow into America's first private, independent Black History Museum in the nation. Since then, this has been a place that has lifted up artists.
They've got special hours for Black History Month as well. Open every day this month, 10 to 5.
Still to come, it has been years, but a popular ice cave is now open to the public.
And one of the most sought after missing ships has been found. Got to say that word very carefully. A nearly 60-year search coming to an end on Lake Michigan.
Major changes to the athletic calendar for Illinois high schools, and the first may impact your summer vacation plans.
Something is going around. Health officials say a contagious virus is taking entire households down. Workplaces too. So if you're sick, stay home. We'll go through the symptoms you need to watch out for. My goodness, take the PTO.
local Ford dealers.
Welcome back. Measles cases are climbing across the country while vaccination rates are trending downwards. The CDC reports more than 900 confirmed measles cases as of February 12th. The respiratory virus is spread by droplets in the air. This happens when a contagious person is coughing, sneezing, or even talking. If you or a family member has been experiencing diarrhea, vomiting, or stomach pain, it could be norovirus. Cases in the Midwest have been surging since late last year, and doctors say they're continuing to see people coming in with this illness. Norovirus is a highly contagious stomach virus that is on the rise in Illinois and the Midwest. It's sometimes referred to as the stomach flu or winter vomiting disease, and it is not uncommon that once someone in the household gets it, everyone's going to get it. It's known for being particularly hard to kill.
The first thing in trying to prevent, clean, and more clean. Norovirus is a very pesky little thing. It survives on food. It can survive on the surfaces. So first things first, wash your hands, and then wash your hands, clean down any surfaces. If you are someone who works with food, especially professionally, and you have norovirus symptoms, please stay home. If you are an employer of such a person, please make sure they can stay home. This is, in order to prevent spread, it is extraordinarily important.
So the CDC has these tips for you. Besides washing your hands well and often, they recommend cooking shellfish thoroughly, washing fruits and vegetables, cleaning and disinfecting contaminated surfaces, wash your laundry in hot water, and if you do become sick, stay home for 2 days and 48 hours after those symptoms stop.
All right, summer's about to get a little shorter for Illinois high school football families. The season's kicking off 5 days earlier this year than it usually does. Plus, every player has to go through 12 days of practice before they can play their first game. So now the first game is set for August 20th. That's a week earlier than before. We talked to someone from IHSA on Chicago Live, and they say this is really about safety, making sure everyone gets enough time to practice.
A lot of our teams are putting in work and having camps and things throughout the summer, but we know that not every student athlete has that opportunity. There are students who are going to have to work throughout the summer, or who might be out of the state or out of the country or doing other things. And for some of them, it's going to be their first day, that first day of practice where they've done anything, and they may not be in shape. So that whole process just really helps them to acclimatize to the heat, as well as to the different equipment, and then just get them kind of a slow build to get ready for the season.
On top of all of this, nearly 130 extra teams from every class are making the playoffs this year.
A ship that sunk in Lake Michigan more than 150 years ago has now been found. The wreck of luxury steamer Lac La Belle was discovered in October of 2022, just about 20 miles offshore near Kenosha, Wisconsin. The announcement of the discovery was delayed because the team wanted to display a three-dimensional video model of the ship. The original sank in October of 1872 after leaving Milwaukee for Grand Haven, Michigan. 53 passengers and crew members were on board. 8 people died. By the way, the Great Lakes are home to anywhere from 6,000 to 10,000 shipwrecks. Who knew, huh?
Wow, I do now.
Yeah, now
Thanks
you
to
do. Now you know.
Ice caves at the Apostle Islands just opened up, first time in years. But listen, if the weather switches up, they'll close it again, just like that. The caves are right on Lake Superior. You only get to see those wild ice formations if the weather plays nice, though. Park rangers are watching it close because one good wind and it's over. Last time anyone got in was back in 2015. Nice to look at.
I don't think I'm going to do that, right?
Of a scaredy cat to go in there.
But
it just looks like
cool.
Final Destination. Sorry. Okay, still to come, the power of social media.
A young Girl Scout crushes the record for cookie sales, and she's not done yet. How one viral video catapulted her sales pitch.
Hey, sis has goals. Have you been outside? No, I have not. It was a beautiful day. This is what people call the spring of deception. Emily's back after the break with details on what's known as a third winter. Oh, Lord.
Third winter? What's that?
Lord.
Fox.
In the heart of Chicago's Bronzeville neighborhood stands what is believed to be the country's only monument honoring African American soldiers of World War I. The Victory Monument at 35th and King Drive was erected in 1927 and dedicated on Armistice Day 1928. After a long campaign for recognition by the Chicago Defender, the nation's most influential African American newspaper. Made of bronze and granite and topped with the statue of an African American doughboy, the monument is dedicated to the 8th Regiment of the Illinois National Guard, an all-black unit that fought in multiple campaigns in France during the Great War. The names of 137 8th Infantry members who lost their lives in World War I are inscribed on a bronze panel. In 1986, the Victory Monument was added to the National Register of Historic Places. And every Memorial Day, a ceremony is held here to remember the black soldiers who fought for freedom in Europe, when they themselves still weren't fully free at home.
All right, let's talk about what a beautiful day it was. And we got more like that on the way. But like I said, we're still skeptics in there. You've seen the meme.
Yeah.
After the fake spring, it's the third winter. I like to stay in the moment, but listen, we got to prepare.
Well, we know what's coming, right? It's February, it's Chicago. We know better than to know that this is going to stick around. However, I will say that this little warm spell that we're experiencing, it's sticking around for a decent amount of time. So we have until Thursday of seeing temperatures just kind of bouncing back and forth between the 50s and 60s. But between now and Thursday, we have a couple storm systems that are going to be moving through. So rain chances are actually set to return tomorrow evening. That's going to linger into the very early morning hours of Wednesday. Then we'll dry things out. And then on Thursday into Friday, we have another storm system that's going to arrive. And then on Friday, on the backside of that storm system, that's when we start to see that colder air building in. So temperatures are expected to drop into the 30s during the day on Friday. Your high temperatures today, it was gorgeous. A lot of us ended up topping out in the 60s, and your record high temperature for this date at O'Hare previously was 58 degrees. That was set back in 1921, but today we made it into the mid 60s. It's now 64, 65 degrees out there. Your previous high was 65 degrees, 67 in Aurora, made it to 68 in Joliet, 70 in LaSalle, 66 in Gary, and we hit 65 degrees in Merrillville and 64 in Waukegan. Here's where we're headed. So tomorrow we're expected to be in the 50s, 60s expected on Wednesday, so very warm again. And keep in mind that average for this time of the year is actually right around 36 degrees. So we're looking at temps that are coming close to 30 degrees above that going into your day on Wednesday again. So soak it up and enjoy it, because again, it's February. We know this is going to be not a long-term thing for us. And by the end of this work week, we're kind of settling back into reality. So we'll have high temperatures on Friday, likely in the mid 40s. That's going to be in the early morning hours. And then I really wouldn't be surprised if we dip down into the 30s. So your satellite and radar, things are quiet for now. We're enjoying quite a bit of sunshine out there. There's just been some higher level cloud cover. Of course, this morning, we did start off the day with a little bit of fog out there, and I think that could be the story again tomorrow morning too. So Futurecast taking us throughout this evening and tonight. We're looking at mostly clear to partly cloudy conditions. Again, there is a chance that we could be seeing some patchy fog developing tomorrow morning. And then through the day tomorrow, we'll start to see increasing cloud cover. Rain chances begin to go up going into the evening hours. That will linger into Tuesday night. And then there's even a possibility that we could be seeing the chance of a couple rumbles of thunder. I'm not expecting anything strong or severe, but just don't be surprised. Don't be taken off guard if you do hear some rumbles of thunder Tuesday night. That's out of here early Wednesday. And then through the day on Wednesday, things look really good. It's going to be very, very warm again, but also very gusty on Wednesday. High temperatures will be in the mid 60s. For tonight, 39, we will have southeasterly winds right around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Your 7-day forecast tomorrow, 54. We have a chance of rain in the evening and at night. On Wednesday, we dry things out, a high of 64 degrees, 57 on Thursday. On Friday, we're in the mid 40s. And then over the weekend, we have dry skies, but temperatures are going back down into the 30s by Sunday and Monday. We'll be right back.
Oh, how cute are they? Their legs may be short, but look at them go. The 2026 Winter Corgi Nationals at the Santa Anita Racetrack in California was packed with spectators and their fur babies over the weekend. About 100 corgis were signed up for the race. Look how cute they are,
I think
right?
of Queen Elizabeth every time I see
right?
corgis.
Yep, those are hers, right? Did you guys see this? Former President Obama stepping in to save the game at this weekend's NBA All-Star Game.
He's just so smooth with it. The former president was sitting courtside with former First Lady Michelle Obama when opportunity came flying.
Check it out.
This intensity early. Jokic got the deflection out of bounds.
Look at Barack.
Mr. President Barack Obama.
He's even cool when the ball's coming at him. No problem. I can be cool.
Look at him. Look, just crossed the leg. Yeah, I'm about to. No, actually, I think exactly what he said was, that's what I do.
I got it.
He plays.
Move like butter, baby. Well, as seen there, a loose ball headed straight toward them, but Mr. Obama's response was way faster. He caught the ball, then handed it back to Phoenix Suns player Devin Booker, creating an unforgettable moment.
And whichever commentator did the impression of Obama, that was pretty spot on, too. That's what I do.
He sounded just like
That was really good. That wasn't the only trending moment from the All-Star game. Brandy sang the national anthem, adding her own flavor to it, as only she can. Unconventional rendition. It had the internet divided. Some loved it, others did not. We'll let you decide. Brandy's known for layering vocals and blending harmonies together. So she got members of a group called June's Diary back there with her to accomplish that. That group actually was put together by girl group royalty Kelly Rowland. The R&B inspired rendition had people split. Some comparing it to Fergie's viral performance. That's disrespectful.
That's rude.
That is disrespectful because those notes were on point.
Yes, Fergie
was
all
just
over.
different.
Yeah.
She was making up words.
Oh my gosh.
She'd still be singing right now.
I need to go back and listen to this one. But I can't imagine there's even a close comparison.
No, unless you're drunk in a bar. Okay, go ahead.
Here we go. Social media helped turn a traditional fundraiser into a viral movement.
My name is Pim. Do you want to have some Girl Scout cookies?
Aw, that's Pim, a 6-year-old Daisy Scout in Western Pennsylvania. She sold more than 75,000 boxes of Girl Scout cookies.
Go, Pim.
Yeah, she started this selling season with one goal: to earn a spot at Scout Camp. But with the help of family and social media pitches like this, she reached thousands of customers across 50 states. Her goal is now to finish the season with 100,000.
Okay, Pim.
Okay, we need to order it then. Yeah.
Pim got goals.
Such a cute
And
name.
she's 6?
Yeah, I
So
love that
cute.
name, Pim.
Yeah.
Really cute.
Little Daisy Scout.
Just don't add a little letter after it.
A San Francisco company is taking orders for a household robot that specializes in folding laundry. Seriously, this is real. They're taking $200, I think, deposits because my husband's looking at buying one of these things.
I saw it too. It's a good idea. Look, the robot's designer says it will save you hours of time sorting and folding your laundry.
No.
It's capable of pairing up socks.
Nope.
It can fold most clothing,
Nope,
towels,
it can't. I've seen this.
pillowcases. Those little fitted sheets for your bed, too. $8,000 or $450 a month. There's a subscription.
That's too much.
Is it worth it?
Okay.
Maybe if you really hate laundry.
Well, some people pay about $250 a week to have cleaning services.
Can I just tell you something? I was at the National Restaurant Show last year, and they had that thing there.
Yeah.
I want to bring you. They have video. and it kept having problems, and it kept going like it didn't work. So